Namaste, my fellow yogis. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday morning for a little bit of Hatha yoga. Today, if you have props at your house, you can grab a blanket and a couple of blocks. Of course, you don't need any props for the class, but they might be helpful if you do have them. If you don't have blocks, you can always use a book or a couple bottles of water or something like that. Just a little bit of something for maybe some support to lift you away from the ground a little bit. And with that, let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So if you want to come to the center of your mat, separate your knees wider than your hips, connect the big toes, and then sit the sitting bones onto your heels. Begin to walk the arms forward. Keep the hands about shoulder width distance apart and gently lower the forehead down onto the floor. Push forward and down with your fingertips and push your sitting bones back and down. And then if you like, you can keep the arms here, or for a little bit more of a grounding experience, maybe take the hands back by the hips, palms facing up, and allow the shoulders to just rotate down towards the floor. Just take a moment here to just connect with your mat. Start to tune into the rhythm of your breath. Become an observer as your breath breathes you. Take a moment to notice if it's coming in through the right nostril, the left nostril. Maybe it's coming in gently through both nostrils. Notice as you're breathing if there's a little bit of a staccato to the breath, an unevenness. Perhaps it's already even. Take a moment to start to engage the breath. Work on elongating the inhales and evening out your exhales. Start to engage your Ujjayi pranayama. It's in your practice. Bringing that slight constriction to the back of your throat. Building heat within the body. And activating the core. And then if your hands are back by your hips, go ahead and walk the arms forward. Stretch the fingertips as far forward as you can. And then push the fingertips forward and down. Push the sitting bones back and down. Maintain the rhythm to your breath. Gently walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Take your right hand considerably off the mat. Take your left hand so it's off the mat. Keep the hands about shoulder width distance apart. And then push forward and down with the left hand. Push your left sitting bone back and down. Start to feel a deep stretch on the left intercostal muscles. Again, push forward and down. And push the sitting bone back and down. And then gently walk the hands back into a neutral position, keeping them shoulder width distance apart. Pause in the center of your mat. Push the fingertips forward and down and even out the sitting bones. Push them back and down. And then on the next exhale, gently walk the hands off to the left side of the mat. Take the left hand considerably off the mat. Take the right hand off the mat and keep the hands about shoulder width distance apart. Push forward and down with the right hand and push the right sitting bone back and down. Start to awaken those right intercostal muscles, opening up the side body. Push that hand forward and down one more time. Push the right sitting bone back and down, open it up. And then exhale, walk the hands back into the midline. Keep the hands shoulder width distance apart. Start to press the fingertips down into the mat. Lift the palms away from the floor. Imagine you have little cupcakes under your hands. Push the fingertips down so the elbows start to lift. Lift the upper arms and then wrap the outer armpits down towards the floor. Push so firmly into the mat that the armpits start to create a cupping sensation. Push the fingertips down into the mat. Push the sitting bones back and down. Inhale, lift the forehead away from the floor. Stretch the top of the sternum forward towards the top of your mat. At the same time, stretch the sitting bones back and down. And then gently release the palms back to the floor, the forehead back to the floor. Make some small circles with the neck going in one direction. And then switching out that direction. Just massaging the third eye space, awakening the neck. And then on your next inhale, come up to an all-four tabletop position. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Walk the knees directly underneath the hips. Spread all 10 of your toes back and down onto the mat. Root down into your left arm and wrap that left shoulder back and away from your ear. And then on the inhale, circle the right arm up towards the ceiling. Pause once you get to your full extension. Spread the fingers out wide on the right hand. Gaze up and reach the back of the hand back behind you. And then on your exhale, thread the needle. Take the right arm and stretch it underneath the left. Release the right cheek all the way down to the mat. Walk the left arm forward in space and press the left hand forward and down. Create that cupping sensation again in the armpit. And then go ahead and slide the left hand back in towards the face. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. Flip the palm and bend the elbow. See if you can take a bind. Reach around, grab the top of your right thigh. Open up your left shoulder towards the sky and maybe take your gaze up towards the left shoulder for a little bit of a gentle twist. And then go ahead and release the bind, stretch the left arm back up, and then plant the left arm in front of the face. Press down with the left arm, spin the right arm back up towards the sky, spread the fingers out wide, turn the gaze up, and then inhale, lift up one more time, reach up and back, and then exhale, release the right hand back to the earth. Root down into the right hand, spread the fingers out wide, and wrap that right shoulder back and down away from your ear. Inhale the left arm up to the sky, come to your full extension, pause. Spread the fingers out wide, gaze up, and then reach the hand back a little bit more. And then exhale, thread the needle, slide the left arm underneath the right, release the left cheek down to the floor. Walk the right arm forward into a downward facing dog arm, and push forward and down with the fingertips. Create that cupping sensation in the armpit. And then slide the right hand back in by the face. Lift the right arm up towards the sky. Flip your palm and bend the elbows. See if you can take a bind. Reach around and grab the top of the left thigh. Open the right shoulder up and back. And turn and gaze up towards the ceiling. A little bit of a gentle twist on the right side. And then go ahead and release the right arm back to the sky. Spread the fingers out wide. And then release the right hand back down underneath the face. Press down and inhale, lift the left arm up. Come all the way up, turn and gaze up. Pause. Spread the fingers out wide. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to reach the left hand back a little bit more. And then exhale, release, replace, reset. Walk the hands forward a couple of inches. Spread the 10 fingers out wide. Pronate the hands, pushing more into the knuckles of the index and the thumb. Step the right leg back into a plank. The left leg back into a plank. Keep that spacing with the hands and the feet. And on your exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment here to just settle in. Maybe walk the dog gently by pressing one heel down as you bend the opposite knee and lift the opposite heel up. And then gentle breath to movement, switching it out. Starting to awaken the back of the legs, calves, ankles, a little bit in the hamstrings. And after taking the dog for a little bit of a walk, find a little stillness in your down dog. Push down into the fingertips so they start to whiten out. Press down into the knuckles of the index and the thumb. Wrap the eyes of the elbows towards the top of the mat. Wrap the outer armpits down towards the earth. Bend your knees 2 to 3 inches. And then drop your hip points. Extend your sitting bones up towards the sky. Keeping that strong, straight spine. Work to extend the heels back down towards the floor. Working to straighten the knees. Stretch the thighs back towards the wall behind you. On your exhale, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Take Uttanasana at the back of the mat. Forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Connect your palms to the earth. Drop the top of your head down towards the floor. And then bend your elbows, clasp opposite elbows. Take a gentle sway. Take your left elbow towards your left knee. And then your right elbow towards your right knee. Maybe bring some small circles into the neck as you gently rotate the trunk from side to side. And then find a little stillness in your Uttanasana. Release the hands back down to the floor. Spread the 10 fingers out wide. Make sure the ribs and thighs are connected and the palms are connected to the earth. Take the top of your head towards the floor. And take your gaze more towards your upper thighs. Start to lift the sitting bones up without losing the connection of the hands and the earth or the ribs and the thighs. Work to get the legs straight. Maybe not get them straight. On your inhale, come up onto your fingertips or take your hands to your shins. Create a straight, strong spine parallel to the floor for Ardha Uttanasana. Maybe bring a slight bend to the knees. Drop the hip points, lift the sitting bones up a little bit higher. Pull the sternum forward even more. Keep the navel lifting up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold back in. Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then keep the weight more into the heels. Plant the hands onto the mat and begin to walk forward into a slightly shorter down dog stance. Come just as far forward as you can until your heels start to lift up off of the mat. And then pause. Push the heels back and down. Keep that lift to the sitting bones. And feel a slightly different stretch, more into the Achilles and the ankles rather than the calves. And then bend your left knee considerably. Root down into the left hand and wrap the left shoulder back and down away from the ear. Lift your right hand up and grab the outside of your left ankle. Work to push the left heel down towards the floor and take your gaze underneath your left armpit. Keep wrapping that left shoulder back and down to protect the shoulder. And then use the leverage of the right arm, bend the elbow slightly, turn and twist a little bit deeper towards the left. And then gently release the right hand back to the mat. Root down into the right hand, wrap the right shoulder back, bend the right knee a couple of inches. Take the left hand, reach back and grab the outside of your right ankle. And then work to push the right heel down towards the earth. Take the gaze underneath the right armpit. Press the right heel down, lift up on the outer right hip. Bend the left elbow slightly and turn and twist a little bit more from left to right. And then gently release the left hand back to the mat. Bend the knees. Take the knees out wide. Connect the soles of the feet together. And release yourself back down into child's pose. Settle back into your breath. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Come all the way up. Bring the knees towards one another and come up into a high knee position for just a moment here. Tuck the toes behind you. Squeeze the heels towards one another. Reach back and grab the pinky toe and ring toe and pull them forward so the toes are wrapped down towards the floor. Keep squeezing the heels together and then have a seat back onto your heels. And notice here if you're bringing the weight more over the knees, and that takes a little bit out of the pose. Try to take the shoulders back over the hips. Lift the hip points up. Scoop the tailbone under. Take the shoulders and wrap them back and down. Stretch your crown up towards the ceiling without lifting your chin. Close the eyes. Exhale all the air out from your lungs. Take a deep inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top of the inhale. Keep the lips sealed and slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. And exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale. You can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently blink your eyes open. Release your hands back down towards the floor. Untuck the toes and maybe give a little snap to the feet onto the mat. And then find a little bit of stillness. Bring the big toes to touch and the heels to touch. Clamp the heels back together and then have a seat on the heels. Take the hands back to the tops of the thighs. And again, notice here, maybe you're leaning a little bit forward, taking the shoulders over the knees. Work to take the shoulders back over the hips. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Rotate them back and down. Stretch your crown towards the ceiling. Soften your gaze. Exhale all the air out from your lungs. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhale slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently blink your eyes open. Place the hands back onto the mat. Come back into an all-four tabletop position. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Separate the knees hip-width distance. Spread all 10 toes back and down towards the earth. On your inhale, bend your hips down towards the floor. Lift your sitting bones up towards the sky. Bring a slight bend to the elbows. Pull the sternum forward and the crown up. And then on the exhale, lift the hips, drop the tail, arch the back, straighten the elbows, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Again, inhale, pulling forward into cow pose, shoulders back and down, sternum and crown lifted. And then exhale, arching the back, tucking the chin into the chest, reaching the navel towards the sky. Cow or cat. And then again, one more time. Inhale, pulling forward for cow. And again, arching the back one more time for cat. And then find a little bit of a neutral spine here. Walk the hands forward another couple of inches. Walk the knees back a couple of inches. Make sure the feet are separated hip-width distance. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. For one breath, a deep full inhale. Open mouth, audible exhale. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Bend the knees. And either hop or step to the top of the mat. Take a Uttanasana at the top of the mat, forward fold. Bring the big toes to touch, this time with the heels a sliver apart. If the hamstrings are still tight, you can separate the feet hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale to circle the arms up overhead, squeeze the palms and gaze up. And then exhale, draw the hands into heart center. Moving into Surya Namaskara A. We'll do a couple of half sun A's to warm up. Inhale, reach the arms back up overhead. Squeeze the palms, keep the core engaged. Gaze up through the heels of the hands. Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold down towards the floor. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle all the way back up, squeeze the palms and gaze up. And exhale, draw the hands back into heart center. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, circle all the way up. Exhale, fold and hinge back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, circle all the way back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, circle up. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. Moving into a full Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, circle all the way back up. And exhale, hinge in for Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands and step back into a plank and hold plank for just a moment here. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Make sure the 10 fingers are spread out wide. Walk the toes back so they're underneath your heels. Tuck your tail slightly, lift your pubic bone. Gaze to the top of the mat and start to hinge forward. Pull the heads of the shoulders past the fingertips. Squeeze the elbows in towards the rib line. And then bend the elbows. Start to lower yourself slowly down to the earth for 5, 4. Come to your full extension. Push the pubic bone down. Stretch the glutes towards your heels. Lift your crown. Wrap the shoulders back and down. And then see if you can lift the palms and hover up from the earth. And then lower the palms back down. Lower the chest back down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift back up into plank. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale for 2. Exhale slowly. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze to the top of the mat and coil. And exhale, hop or step to the top, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle slowly back up to the sky, squeeze the palms and gaze up. And exhale, draw the hands into heart center. Samastiti. 2 more times. Inhale, circle the arms back up overhead. And then exhale, hinge the hips back down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step one leg back at a time to plank, hold plank. Shoulders over wrists, heels over toes. Gaze to the top of the mat, pull the sternum forward, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, and then slowly lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, untuck the toes, press the palms down, stretch the tailbone back towards the heels, lift the sternum up, come into a full cobra this time. Keep squeezing the elbows in towards the ribs, keep the shoulders drawn, and try to extend the elbows straight. Lift the gaze up, and then slowly lower back down, tuck the toes. Inhale, lift up into plank, and exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths again, take a deep full inhale. Slow, deliberate exhale. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend the knees and coil, and exhale, hop or step to the top, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, circle all the way up, squeeze the palms and gaze up. And exhale, hands back down to heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, 1 leg back at a time into plank. Inhale, pull the heads of the shoulders forward, squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs, lower slowly down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down, untuck the toes. Tuck the tailbone, lift the pubic bone. Inhale, come all the way up into cobra, and then keep pressing yourself up. Push the tops of the feet down, lift the thighs and the knees up. Keep the heads of the shoulders back. Gaze up, upward facing dog. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths again. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale for 2. Exhale. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend the knees and coil, and exhale, hop or step to the top, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, circle all the way back up, squeeze the palms. Exhale, hands into heart center, Samastiti. Reconnect to your breath, slow yourself down. And then go ahead and set your blocks up. If you have blocks, put them one on opposite sides of the mat. Come back to Tadasana at the top of the mat. Bend your knees deeply, reach your fingertips back. Inhale, come up for Utkatasana, chair pose. Gaze down towards the feet for a moment here, and take the knees back over the heels. Scoop the tailbone under, lift the pubic bone up. Squeeze the palms together. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Reach the thumbs up and back. Exhale, draw the hands into heart center. Inhale to lengthen the spine, take the shoulders back and down. And on your exhale, turn from right to left. Hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Gaze down towards your right knee. See if it's in line with the left. It wants to pull forward. So take the outer right hip and right knee back towards the wall. Pull the sternum towards the top of the mat. And on the exhale, turn and twist a little deeper from right to left. Try to take the thumbs closer to the sternum. Gaze up over the left shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to turn and twist a little. Bend the knees deeply again. Reach the fingertips back and inhale, Utkatasana chair. Again, take the knees back over the heels. Scoop the tail. Lift the pubic bone. Squeeze the palms. Extend the spine and reach the thumbs up and back. And then exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale to lengthen. Bring the shoulders back and down. Exhale, turn and twist. This time left to right. Left elbow outside right knee. Gaze down towards the left knee. It wants to pull forward. Pull the outer left hip and left knee back in line with the right. Inhale to pull the sternum towards the top of the mat. Exhale, turn and twist left to right. Gaze up over the right shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Try to bring the thumbs more towards the sternum. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle the arms up all the way, squeeze the palms. Exhale, draw the hands into heart center. Inhale, circle all the way back up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step one leg back at a time into plank. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press the left heel down towards the mat. Wrap the outer armpits down towards the floor. Inhale the right heel up towards the sky. Make sure the toes are pointing straight down and the hip is in line with the left hip. Don't turn the toes out and open the hip up. We'll do that a little bit later. From here, just push the left heel down. Lift the right heel up a little bit higher. Try to push the right heel back into an imaginary wall. Keep the right knee lifted and straight. One more time. Left heel down. Right heel up a little higher. Exhale, release the right foot back down towards the floor. Keep wrapping those outer armpits down towards the floor. Push the right heel down. Inhale the left heel up to the sky. Again, toes pointing down, left hip in line with right. Don't turn the toes out and open the hip up just yet. Push that right heel down. Push the left heel back into an imaginary wall. Keep the knee lifted. Lift the heel up just a little bit higher. And then one more time. Press down into the hands. Push into the right heel. Lift the left heel up. Exhale, lower the left heel down to the floor. Push the left heel down. Inhale the right heel up to the sky. And this time, bend the right knee. Bring the heel in towards the sitting bone. Then open up the hip. Take the right knee towards the sky. Bring the right toes down towards the floor. Gaze underneath your left armpit. See if you can lift the right knee up a little bit higher. Push the inner left heel down, lift up with the outer left hip. Open that right knee up. Gaze a little bit deeper. See if you can see your right toes underneath your left armpit. And then inhale the right leg back up for three-legged dog. Exhale, release. Lower back down. Push the right heel down. Inhale the left heel up towards the sky. Bend the knee. Bring the heel in towards the sitting bone. And then open up the hip. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Point the left toes down towards the floor on the right side of the mat. Gaze underneath your right armpit. Push down with the inner right heel. Lift up on the outer right hip. Open up your left thigh a little bit more towards the sky. Point the toes a little bit more towards the floor. And then inhale, come back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, lower down. Bend the knees, take them out wide. Come back into Belisle, child's pose. Rest the forehead to the floor. Stretch the arms forward. Come back to your breath. Inhale, come all the way back up into an all-four tabletop. Extend one leg back at a time in the plank. And then exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Push the left heel down. Inhale the right heel up towards the sky. And on your exhale, hinge forward into a plank. Stack the shoulders over the wrist. Bring your knee in towards your nose. Arch the back like cat. Inhale, lift back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross the right knee over towards the left elbow. Pause once you get to your edge. Point the right toes to the left side of the mat. Root down firmly into both arms. Keep the elbows straight. Inhale to lift the right knee up a little bit higher. And then exhale, three-legged dog. Release the right foot back down towards the floor. Push the right heel down. Inhale the left heel up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge forward into plank. Take the knee to nose. Round the back like cat. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, cross the left knee towards the right elbow. Come to your edge and pause. Point the left toes over to the right side of the mat. Keep both elbows straight. Inhale, lift the right or left knee up a little bit higher. And then exhale, three-legged dog. Release the left foot back down towards the floor. Push down with the left heel. Inhale the right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, step the right hand in front, in between the hands. Turn the left toes out to the left side of the mat. Make sure they're turned in about 10 degrees. Keep the right knee stacked over the right ankle. And inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 2. Take your hands to your hips for a moment here. And make sure you're in your stance. Left toes should be turned in about 10 degrees. Right toes should be turned straight ahead. Right knee should be tracking right over the middle toe. Take the left hand to the left hip. Pull that hip back. Take the right hand to the inside of the right knee. Pull that right knee back. Keep the shoulders stacked directly over the hips. Extend the arms out to a T. Tuck the chin slightly and turn and gaze over the right fingertips. Sink a little bit deeper into your front knee if you can. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Slide your left hand down your thigh. Reach your right arm up and back. Gaze towards the right fingertips. If you can, and it's in your practice, you can even take the left arm, bend the elbow, and take a bind around the right thigh. Bend a little bit deeper in the right knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, reach the right fingers back a little bit more. If you're in the bind, release the bind. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, reach the right fingers past the right toes. Take the right elbow to the inside of the right knee, or take the block outside of the right foot. Wrap the right shoulder back. Left hand onto your left hip for a moment. Lift that hip point forward and up. Wrap the left shoulder back and down. Lift the left arm up, flip the palm, and create one line of energy from the knife edge of the left foot through the left fingertips. Extend your side angle. Squeeze the right leg to the right arm. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, open up the chest from right to left. Gaze underneath the left armpit. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to open it up. Gaze down towards the floor. Slide the block back a couple of inches. Maybe lift it up to a higher setting. And then start to fire up on the right leg. Create two straight, strong legs. Trikonasana triangle pose. Take the left thigh, reach it back towards the wall behind you. Wrap your right sitting bone down towards the mat and forward in front of you. Wrap the right shoulder back. Reach the left fingers up. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale to pull the sternum towards the right toes. Exhale to open up the chest. Gaze up. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open it up. Gaze back down towards the floor. Slide the block out of the way. Bend the right knee. Take both hands to surround the right foot. Turn the left toes back in and step the right leg back. Plank. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Push the right heel down. Lift the left heel up. And exhale, step the left foot to the top of the mat in between the hands. Turn the right toes out to the right. And inhale, come up. Virabhadrasana 2. Again, release the hands to the hips for a moment here. Make sure that the left knee is over the left ankle and you can see your second or third toe. Make sure the right toes are turned in about 10 degrees. Take the hand to the top of the right thigh. Push the thigh back towards the wall. Take your hand to the inside of the left knee. Open the left knee out back towards the wall. Take the shoulders over the hips. Extend the arms back out to a T. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Tuck the chin slightly. Turn and gaze over towards the left fingers. Sink a little deeper in that left knee. Inhale to lengthen. And then reverse the warrior. Slide the right hand down the thigh. Flip the left palm. Reach up. If you took the bind on the other side, bend that right elbow. Reach around to the top of the left thigh. Take the bind. Sink a little deeper in the left knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to reach back. Gaze towards the left fingertips. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, reach. Reverse that warrior. Inhale, come back up into warrior 2. Lengthen the spine towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach the left fingers past the left toes. Take the left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Or if you did so on the other side, slide the block in. Squeeze the left leg to the left arm. Wrap the left shoulder back. Take the right hand to the right hip. Lift that hip forward and up. Wrap the right shoulder back and down. Lift the right arm up. Flip the palm. Extend the side angle. Again, one line of energy from the knife edge of the right foot through the right fingertips. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to open up the chest. Gaze underneath the right armpit. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open it up. Gaze down towards the floor. Slide the block back. Maybe move to a higher setting. Start to straighten out on the left leg. Reach the right arm up. Trikonasana. Inhale to pull the sternum forward. Wrap the left shoulder back. Exhale to open up the chest. Gaze up towards the right fingers. Reach the right thigh back towards the wall. Wrap your left sitting bone down towards the mat and forward. Inhale again to lengthen the spine. Exhale to open it up just a little bit more. And then gaze down towards the floor. Slide the block out of the way. Bend the left knee. Plant the hands. Step back into plank. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Come on down to the mat. Circle the legs out in front of you. Dandasana, stack pose. Come to the top of the mat with the heels. Remove any flesh from underneath the sitting bones. Inhale to lengthen the arms up. And on the exhale, slowly lower yourself down towards the floor. Reach the arms overhead, point the toes to the top of the mat. Create an end-to-end stretch here. And go ahead and bend the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Lift the shoulders up off the mat. Take the forehead towards the knees. Round in. And then release the shoulders and head back to the floor. Take the knees over the hips. Bring the shins parallel to the floor. Keep the legs squeezed together. Take your hands to the tops of your knees. Push your hands into your knees and push your knees back into your hands. Bring the navel down towards the floor. Keep the core engaged. Flex the toes towards the knees. Keep pushing the hands into the knees and create equal resistance, pushing the knees back into the hands. Start to feel the core shake and get a little bit more activated here. And then go ahead and release the hands. Take them out to a cactus or a T. Shimmy your hips over to the left 2 inches. And then drop the knees slowly over to the right, just about 45 degrees, and pause. Flex the toes back towards the knees. Reach the left shoulder down towards the floor. And work to stack the left hip and left knee over the right. And then inhale, come back up and through center. Shimmy the hips back into the center. And then over to the right 2 inches. Drop the knees over to the left, 45 degrees, and pause. Keep squeezing the legs together. Keep the toes flexed towards the knee. Work to stack the right hip and right knee over the left. And keep the right shoulder down onto the floor. Keep the core engaged. Tailbone tucked slightly. And then come back up and through center. Shimmy the hips back into the center. And then release the feet down towards the floor. Connect the soles of the feet together. Drop the knees out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can take your left hand on top of your heart. Take your right hand just below the navel. Relax the elbows to the floor. Reconnect to your breath. And then go ahead and take the hands next to the hips for just a moment. Take the hands outside the thighs. Squeeze the thighs back together. Close them up like a book. Take the knees back over the hips. Shins parallel to the floor. Toes flexed towards the knees. Extend the arms up towards the ceiling. Imagine you were trying to push your hands into the ceiling, but keep the shoulders down towards the mat. On your exhale, begin to lift the shoulders off the mat. Take the hands over to the left side. Take the knees over towards the right for a little bit of a twist. Inhale, come back, shoulders to the floor, knees to the center, palms to the sky. Exhale, take the hands over to the right, take the knees over to the left, lift the shoulders up off the floor. Come back down, shoulders to the floor, knees to the sky. And then switch it out. Exhale, lean the hands over to the left, knees over to the right. Inhale, come back to the floor. Exhale, hands to the right, knees to the left, shoulders up, squeeze the legs together. Inhale, back to the floor. 2 more times. Exhale, hands to the left, knees to the right. Inhale, come back to the floor. Exhale, hands to the right, knees to the left, shoulders up, squeeze the legs. Inhale back to the floor. Last time, both sides. Exhale, hands to the left, knees to the right, a little bit of a twist. Inhale back to the floor. Last one, hands to the right on the exhale, knees to the left. Awesome work. Come back to the floor. Bend the knees in, give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. And then rock and roll yourself up to a seated position. Cross the legs, plant the hands, step one leg back at a time into plank, and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press the left heel down, inhale the right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Inhale, come up into a high lunge. Walk the left heel back so it's over the toes. Bend the right knee so it's over the right ankle. Bend the left knee slightly. Take your hands to your hip points. Lift your hip points up, scoop your tailbone under, and then fire up on your left leg. Push the heel back even farther. Lift the knee up and the thigh up even farther. Pull that left hip forward, right hip back. Sink a little deeper in the right knee. Keep the low ribs in. Inhale the arms up, and then exhale, hands into heart center. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to turn and twist. Take your left elbow outside your right knee. Inhale to pull the sternum forward. Exhale to turn and twist. Gaze up over the right shoulder. Keep pushing the left heel back. Keep the left knee lifted. Inhale to lengthen. Lift your navel off your right thigh. Exhale, turn and twist. Use the leverage of the elbow and the knee. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, circle the hands down. Step the right foot back. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Push the right heel down. Inhale the left heel up to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands. Inhale, come all the way up for a high lunge. Again, walk the heel back so the toes are underneath the heels. And release the hands to the hips for a moment here. Bend the left knee so it's over the left ankle. Bend the right knee slightly. Lift your hip points up, scoop your tailbone under, and then push your right heel back. Lift the right knee and right thigh up. Pull the right hip forward. Keep those hips lifted. Keep the low ribs in. Inhale the arms up. Squeeze the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to turn and twist. Right elbow outside of left knee. Inhale to pull the sternum forward. Exhale to turn and twist. Sink a little deeper in the left knee. Fire up on the right knee. Inhale, pull the sternum forward. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, circle back down. Step the right foot forward, fold in. Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, circle all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome work. So hopefully we got a little bit of a twist in there. Got a little bit of the arms warmed up. Now we'll get into our peak pose. We're going to be working on Parshva or side crow pose. So we've actually done it on our backs. And now we'll do it in the full pose. So I'll demonstrate the pose, walk you through it, and then we'll practice and then rest a little. So from the Tadasana position at the top of the mat, we want to bend the knees, reach the fingertips back, and inhale, come up into Utkatasana. So we've been here before. Inhale to lengthen the spine, squeeze the palms together. On the exhale, come into prayer position with the hands. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, we're going to turn and twist. This time from left to right. We'll start there. Once you've come to the edge, rather than hooking the left elbow outside the right knee, take the hands and separate them more into mime hands. So we want the hands about shoulder width distance apart as we come into that twist. From that twist, now you start to connect the left elbow to the left knee and try to walk the shoulder closer towards the knee. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Connect the palms to the earth. The fingertips should point in the same direction as the toes. The hands should be about shoulder width distance apart. We want to imagine that there's a triangle on the floor. where the hands are the base of the triangle. Top of the sternum will end up being the top of the triangle. So as you have the hands there for the base, start to gaze towards the top of the triangle and start to pull the sternum forward. Now the challenge here is to keep the gaze lifted. If you start to look back, you can come out of the pose really easy, falling towards the floor. We want to fly away from the floor, so keep the sternum and gaze lifted. Once you're here, this might be the pose for some of you. If you can go a little bit deeper with this, maybe lift the left leg away from the floor. Maybe work to lift the right leg away from the floor. Squeeze the legs together. Try to keep the elbows bent on the left. Work to straighten the right elbow out. Inhale, pull the sternum forward. And exhale, release the feet back to the floor. Slide the hands back in. Heart center. Inhale to stand all the way up. Tadasana. Left side, in that Tadasana position, bend the knees deeply, reach the fingertips back. Inhale, Utkatasana. Squeeze the palms together. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to turn and twist, coming into those mime arms. From there, start to sink a little bit lower so the right knee, or right elbow and left knee connect. Even try to bring the right shoulder closer to the left knee. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Bring the palms to the earth. Again, fingertips in line with the toes, and shoulder width distance apart. Pull the sternum towards the top of that triangle. Keep pressing the left leg into the right arm. Maybe lift the right leg up. Maybe lift the left leg up. Keep the gaze forward. Keep the right elbow bent for support. Work to straighten the left elbow out. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to release the feet back to the floor. Come back, hands to heart center. Rise to Tadasana. Awesome. So let's work on that. We'll do it one more time on each side. From your Tadasana, bend the knees, reach the fingertips back. Inhale, Utkatasana. As you inhale to lengthen, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, turn and twist to the right. Mime arms. Start to bend the knees deeply. Bring that left shoulder closer to the right knee. Plant the left hand and right hand down. Wide base for your triangle. Pull the sternum and the gaze forward to the top of the triangle. Lift the left leg up. Lift the right leg up. Squeeze the shins together. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, come back down. Hands to heart center. Inhale to rise. Awesome. Last side. Bend the knees deeply. Fingertips back. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Mime arms to the left. Start to bend the knees deeply. Get that right shoulder as close to the left knee. Plant the right hand and left hand down, shoulder width distance apart. Pull the sternum forward to the top of the triangle. Right leg up. Left leg up. Squeeze the shins. Keep that right elbow bent for support. Work to straighten out the left elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, lower the feet down. Hands to heart center. Rise. Release the hands. Bend the knees. Come on down to your mat. Awesome work, everybody. Wrapping up with a couple of seated poses here. Take the legs out in front of you. Tadasana staff pose. Remove any flesh from underneath the sitting bones. Inhale to lift the spine up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. These fingers to big toes, fold in. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Hinge over to the right. Swing both of your legs over to the left. Try to bring the left ankle in between the right arch. Make sure both knees are parallel to the top of the mat. Lift your left arm up towards the sky. And on the exhale, take your left hand down outside of your right knee. Try to bring the fingertips underneath the knee so the palm is down towards the floor. If that's difficult for you, you can even just grab the outside of the knee, whatever works for you. Take the right hand behind the back. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to turn and twist, gaze over the right shoulder. Walk the right fingers back a little bit more. So there's a little bit of a lean back bend going on here with the twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Gaze over the right shoulder. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist with a little back bend. Inhale, gaze back forward. Exhale, swing the legs back forward. Hinge over to the left. Sweep the legs over to the right. Stack the right ankle on top of the left arch. Both knees parallel to the top of the mat. Inhale the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, swoop the right hand underneath the left knee. Try to get the palm to the floor. Again, if that's difficult, you can just grab the outside of the knee. Take the left hand behind the back. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn and twist. Gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe walk those left hands back a little bit more so you can create more of a back bend. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale one more time, lengthen. Exhale, turn and twist with a little back bend. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, unwind. Re-extend the legs. Walk the heels up to the top of the mat. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way back down. End-to-end stretch. And then take a happy baby. Bend the knees in towards the ribs. Take the elbows inside the knees, the hands outside the feet. Push the feet up towards the sky. Pull the feet back down towards the floor. Try to take the knees outside the ribs. And if it feels good for you here, gently rock your baby from side to side. And then find a little stillness. Notice if the sacrum's wanting to lift away from the floor, press the sacrum down. Stretch the top of the head towards the top of your mat. And then maybe work to extend one leg straight at a time. Maybe switch out the legs. Maybe work to get both legs straight. And then give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Round the shoulders in. Take the forehead to the knees. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release. Setting yourself up for your final Shavasana. Big toes to touch. Heels as wide as you can make them. And then allow the legs to externally rotate so the toes turn out. Take the hands next to the hips, palms facing up. Bring the shoulders towards one another under the spine and away from the ears. Stretch the top of the head towards the top of the mat. Exhale all the air out from your lungs. Take a deep full inhale. Another open mouth audible exhale. Start to find a little stillness in the body. Notice if there's any tension you're still holding in any of your muscles. Allow them to relax. If your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, allow it to soften away. The jaw is clenching, release the jaw. Relax the muscles in the face and around the eyes and ears. Allow yourself to settle in to your Shavasana. And at this point, my fellow yogis, I'm going to leave you to enjoy your Shavasana as much time as you need. Allow yourself to relax, restore. It's a pleasure having you join me for this practice. Conclude the practice, taking the hands into heart center. And then drawing the thumbs up towards the third eye space. Allow the highest in me to honor the highest in you. Namaste.